talking about the Punisher, guys. This is what happens when you try to do it live.
Oh yeah, I have opinions on that. That's the entire reason why I came in
I
here.
know, I know, I know. Me too. I have a lot of opinions, and there's actually a lot to get through on this one, which is why this particular subject is going to be interesting. I kind of thought Dane from Force Adversity would be coming on because I know he did like a 45-minute video talking about this. But
Damn.
so here's the thing: by looking at the logo here or the today's thumbnail, we can see that the Punisher has changed his logo a little bit. It looks a little bit different. And according to comicbook.com, the Marvel officially changes Punisher logo in new series, right? So this is just a new series that we don't know exactly if it's going
to be like a multiverse story. Have they clarified?
I don't believe so. This is kind of it's a new run,
Punisher, right?
It's just a new run. Okay. So it's probably not going to be. It's probably not going to end up being permanent.
Probably not. But like, do you think that they're being? I wonder how specific they're being about this, because like if they're not being intentionally like specific about it, then kind of makes me wonder if this kind of publicity stunt, you know?
Well, I mean, all of this shit effectively turns into a publicity stunt, but this is what it says here. It says the House of Ideas is building the Prestige series as the definitive culmination of Frank Castle's journey in the Marvel universe. So they're pulling out all the stops for it. I always hate when they say that because the character's never going to end up like, going away. They might delay it for a bit, then bring a new one back. But it's set to come out in March, and the series will feature 13 oversized issues, set to finish in April 2023. And then, so this is what we see here. We see that they're also changing his iconic brand after its involvement in real world controversies over the past couple years. So they're changing it from the iconic look to this new image here.
I just want to say, like, I think I think it's pretty cool looking, but like, it's never gonna be that original iconic logo. And I think that like changing it just gives all the power to those people who, like, it basically just gives them the logo on a silver platter to do this, right? Like,
no, it absolutely does. But here's how it looks like to me. Right? You ever play you play Halo Infinite? Or any multiplayer game where you have the ability to create a new emblem and put it on your character?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
that is what it feels like to me. It just feels like it is a random image generator that they threw. I mean, it even looks like it. It even looks like that could be interswapped with literally anything else.
And I'm like, look, it's kind of a cool design, but it's not that iconic Punisher logo, and it never will be. There's also another interesting thing we can note about this. You see, he's not using guns. He's just using katanas.
Yeah.
No guns.
No guns.
How can you have a Punisher without guns?
I don't know. I don't get it. That's like, so stupid to me.
I mean, maybe you can go around and decapitate people. That'd be still kind of cool.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's for other characters
to do. That's for other characters to do, though, man.
Like, yeah.
Like, whatever.
Well, okay. So according to the guy writing it, he says here, after writing the Punisher over the years, I've always been fascinated by the character of Frank Castle, what moments made him the Punisher, even before that fateful day in the park. And how far will he go to win the war that has consumed his life? And a spoiler, as far as it damn well takes. The story is the destined next step in the dark and tragic evolution of Frank Castle, from the troubled kid to heroic soldier to revenge-driven vigilante to the duly anointed king of killers. Believe me when I say I'm as excited about this story as anything I've written for Marvel. So
H-Bart's put it really well. It looks like a Chinese knockoff symbol. It really does.
It kind of does. Now it says here, all right, in a unique twist of fate, Castle has been forced to become a warlord of the Hand as he reports directly to the Beast.
I'm cringing.
So he's going to work for the Hand?
All right. He's going to get a hand job.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, like, look, so is this going to end up being like, so this is the cover of the issue. So it's like, I mean, look, it looks like here his standard, skull logo got all torn up and he's got some throwing stars in him because, that and an arrow in him and a crossbolt maybe. I don't know.
That arrow, logo will never not be bad.
No, it's never not going to be a thing, right? But here's the thing though. There is controversy with the character or with the image. Now, this article here is from January 7th of this year, 2021. And it's just titled, "The Punisher isn't Marvel's anymore. He belongs to the Proud Boys now."
Oh, God.
Now that's the thing, though, is a lot of the Proud Boys, a lot of the people on the far right have embraced the Punisher logo. I've seen the logo utilized multiple times on bumper stickers and car decals. And it's, there's variations of shit like that. I've seen camo versions
I
and
mean,
like
people did the same thing with
patriotic.
Pepe the Frog, and you know what happened
Well,
to that?
well,
Eventually,
and
it
we're getting to
became
that. We're getting to that actually,
okay.
because that does play into this, by the way. So yes, these groups have appropriated images in the past. That is true, but the Punisher logo wasn't initially something that was co-opted by elements of the far right. This goes back an article in Time back all the way, I think, in 2013. 2015. Sorry, that's titled here: How a Marvel comic hero became an icon of the fight against ISIS. And if you ever saw the movie American Sniper with Bradley Cooper, they show him in a scene where he's in Afghanistan, like I think, or he's in Iraq or Afghanistan, and it was one of the first things that I saw. I think it was Iraq, and I'm watching the movie, and not only was the movie absolute, like, just, I mean, grade A prop of fucking Ganda, it really was. And a lot of the shit that the American Sniper, I forget the guy's real name, had written in his book was actually not true. It was actually all lies. And anyway, it doesn't matter. But I believe they were lies. I mean, Jesse Ventura sued and ultimately won, so there's definitely some stuff there that's not true. But the Punisher logo was in the movie, and I thought that was kind of weird that they put the Punisher logo in there. But it's true. They actually were very much using this as a call to arms, as like a symbol during the Iraq War, and to take on ISIS and everything else. And so this is something that, again, what are the Proud Boys? What do they feel like they're doing? They feel like they're trying to engage in this war where they're trying to take out all of these, what they deem to be the left, the bad actors, everything else like that, right? All of that nonsense. And so they've co-opted it now. And I mean, do I feel like this particular change is as a general result of that? Yeah. I think it is. But I also feel that it's the wrong play, because here's the thing. Pepe the Frog.
Yep.
That's a fun one. Now, Pepe the Frog appeared originally in a 2005 online comic called Boys Club, where he was just used with the catchphrase "feels good, man." It was just a little Pepe the Frog meme. It's very, very harmless.
Oh, that's the original right there, right?
No, not the kills Jews man. No.
Okay.
No, but the feels good man. No, the feels good man that's the original.
I'm just fucking around.
All right. Well, then in 2016, as like the presidential election started to heat up, and as 4chan and 8chan and elements of Reddit started like really like trying to like become, really take over a lot of the conversation, how the online conversation was back then was insane. And Pepe's were actually something that they used. They did. They created this phenomenon called rare Pepes. Now, the thing is, this interview or this article here on the ADL is heavily biased, and it was heavily mocked. I even mocked it back in the day when it came out, because the ADL was referenced by Hillary Clinton's campaign to claim that Pepe the Frog was a hate symbol, and they jumped on this shit. Now, the thing with this is you can see here some of the other images that were used for Pepe.
Oh my
God. Very terrible stuff. Very, very terrible stuff there.
All right, Matt. Like,
right?
Not that.
No, well, I'm using it as an example. I'm not condoning it, obviously.
No, I get it.
But the thing is that this was created by a guy named Matt Furie, or Fury. And Matt Furie hated the fact that his creation was used in such a way. So he started filing copyright lawsuits against people who were trying to profit off the Pepe. He got a lot of stuff shut down. And just even recently, he put out he did a documentary about it, and then he also sold Pepe the Frog through an NFT earlier this year.
Are you fucking kidding?
I'm serious. Yeah. So Matt Furie decided to come back and reclaim his creation and take it back from the right. Yeah, through capitalism, because that's how this whole thing works, really.
Yep. And
so he did this through capitalism, and a lot of people out there don't really know this story yet. A lot of people out there, they don't know about the connection of this. They might have heard about the Pepes. The Groypers online have taken a look at it. They've done all those things. And the way that I view it essentially is that what you have here is a situation where Marvel could easily do the same thing. Bring back John Bernthal as the Punisher, and put him up against a shit ton of white nationalists.
Yep, exactly, right.
And white supremacists and have him like, you know what you do? You know what you do? You have a Punisher storyline where you basically, you showcase like another insurrection. You have another white supremacy, white nationalist led insurrection, and the Punisher is tasked to go in and to take out the leaders of it. And that's just him assassinating all of the leaders of this shit that pushed propaganda.
And there you
and
go.
all.
The people will never use the symbol ever again.
They will never use the symbol ever again. They will hate Marvel. They will, you know what? Marvel will be fine with it. The things are all going to watch it anyway. It doesn't matter. They'll be all upset online through their alt accounts, but they're all going to watch it.
Yeah, they're all
And
going to watch every single episode so they can
exactly
nitpick it online.
They're gonna
exactly.
They're gonna do all that shit, and that's what you do. That's what you do. You turn it in. You turn it into a political story where you're like, yeah, this is how we do it. This is how we take back the meme. And then, but not this.
Not this. This is cringe.
Not this. This looks. I mean, look, it's not like the worst logo on the planet.
It's not.
All right, but it doesn't suit the character. It feels just kind of
If you showed me this and you were like, this is like an alternate like take on Punisher from a different universe, I'd be like, okay, yeah, he uses swords and shit. That's actually kind of cool. But if you're telling me this is 616 Punisher, nah, go fuck yourself. Like,
yeah. So it's one of those things. Is that's what I'm talking about here? It's really, it is really that. Like that's how you do it. And unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna fucking happen. But
this won't last. No, they'll go back to the original logo.
They're gonna go back. I mean, look, the thing is, these characters always have it like that. These realities are all, like these runs are never permanent.
Yep, female Thor.
Female Thor, yeah. I mean, it's being turned into a movie, but it's not gonna last. It's gonna be the one movie thing.
Even Sam Wilson as Captain America, he is not a Captain America in the comics anymore.
It might go to Bucky at some point in time, but it's gonna be It's gonna be Sam Wilson for a while in the movie.
No, I'm not talking about in the MCU. I meant in the comics. Like it went back to Steve Rogers and
okay.
In the comics, like all these comic runs where they're like, I'm pretty sure Ironheart isn't like, I'm pretty sure they brought Iron Man back into the 616 universe. So yeah, these runs where they like try and be like, this is for permanent, unless it's really fucking successful, it's never for permanent. Like,
well, McLeod. Okay, so McLeod here says that Forced Adversity put it this way: the swastika used to be a religious symbol of peace, but since it was used by the Nazis in the 30s, it can no longer be seen as anything else as a symbol of evil. The damage is done. See, here's the thing with that though. Maybe in Western culture, that's the case. Not in Eastern culture.
True.
Not in Southeast Asia.
Yep.
Southeast Asia, the swastika is still heavily used.
Where it's from, right? I'm pretty
it's
sure
where it's actually in a number of like religious texts. Like I think it's even in like the it's the thing is though the swastika, the Nazi version of the swastika is tilted on its axis.
Yep. It's like 45 degrees.
Yeah, yeah, I think so, right? And so I'm not trying to say, oh, bring the Swazi back. Fuck that shit. I hate that symbol. Yeah. Right? But what I'm saying here though is like in the West, yeah, sure, fine. And you know what, with good reason. But you're never going to get rid of it. It's never going to go away. So why not try to reclaim it? Why not try to take back that power? I'm not saying like bring back like, the red and white swastika, but just right side up and not at an angle and be like, hey guys, it's the new Swazi. Don't do that. But like people out there, it's been a symbol for thousands, for tens of thousands of years, or I don't know. I'm probably over.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens in regards to that, as like we have a more global culture as time goes on. Hopefully,
yeah. I mean, and the thing is, I'm not saying like if they found a way to like take it back, by all means, like find a way to do it. What I'm saying in this moment here is if Pepe the Frog, which was heavily prevalent at the beginning, at the Trump, leading up to the Trump administration, has been able to be taken back by its original creator. I see no reason why Marvel can't do the same thing. You know what I mean? And so I don't think the damage is done. I don't, if people had, fucking Punisher logos on their shields as they stormed the Capitol and were beating cops to death, that's a different story. All right. Yeah, if that was the rallying cry, it's a different story. I saw more dudes with like Spartan logos and shit.
Maybe if the president went around with like a Punisher label on his fucking coat, then we'd be having a different conversation here.
Yeah. So it does matter. a swastika on its axis will always be associated with the Nazis. The swastika in and of itself will always be associated with the Nazis.
Damn,
But the thing is, there are more people in Southeast Asia than there are here. There are more people in China than there are here.
And their opinions matter too.
We are not the center of the fucking planet. 330 million of us in this country alone. We are dwarfed by numbers in China and in Asia and in Russia. We are dwarfed. 7 billion, 7.8 billion people. We're 330 million of that. Come on, dude.
Look, I don't mean to be a dick, but it does kind of come across as culturally insensitive. I'm being kind of honest. Like,
it's. Could we create that? Could we actually mount that as an argument? Right? What? Like, kind of go like, well, it's really culturally insensitive to try to ban the swastika when so many people around the world use it. And I'm kidding, obviously. Right?
I mean, if it's the one actually being used by people today in Southeast Asia, then let's be understanding. Like,
that's all I'm saying is like, it's like you can look. The Punisher logo is not the swastika. Let's be fucking clear.
It's not. It's completely different.
It's not the swastika. So it can be reclaimed. It's a fucking comic book logo.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It's not the end of the world. And I like Dane. I wanted Dane on to have the conversation. I was supposed to go on his stream last weekend. And everything else, but I overslept and whatnot. And so I wasn't able to do it. But it's like, I like Dane. I want to have the convo with Dane because I feel like this is something that can be taken back. And you know what? They should take it back, because why the fuck should those assholes have the ability to destroy what something else is?
They shouldn't have that power.
Yeah. That's all it is. That's all it is. I mean, that skull is when I'm like, dude, come on, man. So the American flag was also used. You know what? Should we, who was who made the American flag? What she got to say about that? I'm just saying, it's people went in there, they beat guards with American flags, right?
Yeah.
It's such a weird argument. It's like, it's a death's head logo. Wait, what? Now listen, no, the okay, hold on. The death's head logo it was Martha Wash. Thank you. Yeah, you're right, Kira, I was wrong. A death's head logo was created for Heinrich Himmler and the officers in the Third Reich, the SS officers in the Third Reich. It was specifically designed as an insignia and jewelry to showcase their specific standing within that organization. All right. So it's like, you can't, it's not the same thing as a fucking Punisher logo. Like, it's just not the same thing. I'm sorry. Right now, Tony here makes a point. And he says people had no issues with the Confederate flag until Dylan Roof happened. They did have issues with the Confederate flag, but it wasn't until that image of him holding a small Confederate flag came out after the shooting in that church that we saw everybody start to lose their shit over it. And literally teachers were fired in San Francisco. I'm not even kidding you. In San Francisco, a teacher was fired because he was teaching about the Civil War. And on one side of the room, he had a Confederate flag. And on the other side of the room, he had a Union flag. And people complained, and he got fired because he had the flag for educational purposes. There were iOS games that were Civil War RTS action, strategy games that were banned from the Apple Store because they contained the Confederate flag as part of a historical setting.
This is a really strange hill for people to die on.
It is super odd. It's like, look, man, people and I don't like the Confederate flag. I fucking hate it, but it has a historical context. And so if it's used for its historical context, I don't fucking care. I'm like, all right, man. But it's when people fucking hang it on their goddamn, when they make it their identity. I'm not a fan of that either.
And once again, this is a completely unrelated topic to a fucking comic book character's logo on his chest.
Oh yeah, remember this too? Remember the OK symbol? That started as a meme and now it's real. Now, well, that is no. The thing is
that fell out of favor though. Let's be honest.
Certain people, and the people who mostly do it now, they mostly do it for memes. To be honest, do it to be a dick. But and I'm not a fan of that either, right? Yeah, and he's right. But the lefties give it the power. The lefties gave it the power, and that's why I'm talking about Matt Furie. Matt Furie took the power back, and maybe that's what we have to focus on: is taking the power back out of these scenarios. Instead of just trying to destroy something and make it go away and sweep it under the rug, what does that do? It just moves them to the next thing. It gives them the power to take something, to co-opt it, and to destroy it. But if you take the power back, they can't use it anymore. Isn't that the better? Isn't that the better act?
True. It's not just that either. Like when it comes to Pepe the Frog, it's not just down to the creator. Like there was also a bunch of fucking like big leftist creators and like Bread 2 who started like to make an active effort to like reclaim Pepe the Frog, and basically now in like 2021 where we're standing right now, Pepe the Frog is like a politically neutral thing again. People all across the political spectrum, even people who just play video games on Twitch, love fucking Pepe the Frog, as far as I've seen. So things change over time, and you can't just allow one group of people that you don't like to just own a symbol. Then they can just take whatever the fuck they want away from you. Anything that you've loved or grew up with. I grew up enjoying the fucking Punisher as a character. Me and my fucking dad enjoyed that shit a whole lot. And there's nothing right fucking white supremacist about it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well, Darth here makes a great point. He says, we hate the Confederate flag because the South took up arms against us. Yes, that is the flag of treasonous insurrectionists. Let's be fair. All right. The Confederate flag is that. It's not Southern pride. It's not Johnny Rebel. It's fucking traitors. And they lost. And they're not coming back. And they can bitch and moan. They can cry about it all they want. But they're not coming back. They're not going to raise up arms again. And they're not going to try to like bring back slavery. They're just going to sit at home and like be air conditioned while drinking sweet tea and crying about it on the internet. That's all it is.
The worst thing that you can do is enforce their persecution complex.
Exactly.
I'm not even shitting you.
Exactly. I completely agree. I completely fucking agree.